True.
Hmm.
All right. I thought of our subtle signal to tell Devin to start the podcast.
Is it what you just said right there?
What is it?
Wait, what did I say?
I don't know.
Oh,
Your
it's me to tell
subtle-
Devin to start the podcast. Yeah, that's a good idea. It's Devin!
His first version of the
Devin
subtle
is where it starts.
the subtle
The
signal
Dawson.
was the Dulcim.
We can do the this one too. We can do. Oh, you know what? I got it. This is the one. I can give him the water boy. Oh, you can't see my hand.
From this angle.
No,
What
you
are
just
you
look
doing
like
with
you're
your hands?
just, like
On my nipple.
holding yourself up.
My hand is on my nipple.
Oh, well, that did not get caught by the camera.
That did not get caught. And spittle jumped out of my mouth when you said that.
Good.
All right. I mean,
Hey, that's where we should start. Devin, start at that.
Oh,
yeah.
my
start it
hair
while
is
I'm in
so
the
fucked.
Inferno.
Keep it all in, but my hair is so fucked.
Start while we're in the inferno.
We are.
Your hair's fucked. I just woke up. Brian has a raging erection right now.
Bro,
And no
Boba
one is
Fett.
descending into hell.
episode 6, man.
That's what's holding his
Oh.
microphone up, bro.
Hold on, let me
Yeah.
let me
kickstand
subtly
is,
watch this. I'm gonna subtly message Devin, but really start it at that point. Smiley face. There we go.
There you go. Good stuff.
Perfect.
Subtle,
Subtle.
subtle, and perfect.
Straight to the
Much like-
point.
Much like the
Mhm.
band's episode 9. That's this episode
It is.
that I'm talking to
Welcome,
you
everybody.
right now.
What's up,
Episode
boys?
What's up?
What's going on? I don't need this to me. My face as much as I used to.
This is
But-
going up on my birthday.
That's
So-
right.
So
Yes.
future me, you're fucking old. Fucking old man, go to bed, dumbass. Nice, got me.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Dude, so I immediately have. You have
How
to
old are you gonna
insult.
be?
You have to insult future me also. 31.
Oh, you're not over the hill yet. You're good.
Yeah, that's not that bad.
Did you think it was 50?
Okay, hold on. No. Oh,
Did you
I've thought about this before. Over the hill to me is
But
once you pass 69, you're over the hill because then you're past the
Nice.
funny age. And then why? Like literally, why am I like? What age am I looking forward to after 69?
69's the funny age.
69, you're at the top of the hill.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
I
yeah,
would say
then-
so because you get
yeah,
a
then
year.
you hit 70 and you're over
Yeah.
the hill. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
Yeah.
what funny numbers do you have?
I just
after
got this is
that?
literally
24.
68 years old, February 3rd, 11:55 p.m. Just gonna be like this. 11:56, still just waiting. 11:57,
The
58,
Bants episode 3000.
59. And then it turns to midnight. Nice.
And just fades away.
Yeah. I'm just out of there. That's
Tim,
it.
no, not
No.
now, Tim, not now.
We'll be on to Bants episode 6969 as well. It's the
Oh,
perfect-
yes. And then
it's
just
the perfect-
fade away.
Yeah.
Can we-
You think
Hey,
That's
can we
not bad,
actually?
yeah.
Can we
That's
actually?
not bad.
Can we
think
actually
can get
figure out?
6969
Yeah,
episodes by the time you're 69?
That's what I'm
Devin,
wondering.
put it on
Like,
the
can we
calendar.
Can we do the math?
Yeah.
Do the math of if we record because there's 52 weeks in it. That is not even fucking close.
As soon as you said that, I'm like, yeah, no, what the fuck?
Oh shit.
Why were you
I
even
ran
thinking
the
that?
numbers. I said 52 weeks. So I'm like, all right, no, it's not even fucking close. But
Yeah.
you know, it's the thought. It's the thought that counts.
Yeah.
It is.
That was a mighty fine thought.
100%. Yeah.
But
No, I can't believe. I think we're all of us just like, oh yeah, I really wonder about that. And then as soon as he said
It's-
52, we were like, what the
that's
fuck?
that's
What
what
were we
happened.
thinking?
Instinctively gave up.
Yeah.
It was
You said,
it was hype.
So
'cause
it
it's like
was-
it's such a good thought.
was the starting number 6? What?
Yeah, the
You
voice,
almost said it.
the voice of God,
So,
which
Yeah, if
you guys
he
can't hear, is confirmed that we're all idiots. Specifically me, I'm the idiot.
God stops
But-
the show.
yeah,
6,969. Is that what the episode we're trying to shoot for?
Yes.
so yeah, that's literally we're gonna have to be in our like 200s.
We need like 13,000 years.
Yeah, we're gonna be up there.
Ooh. 13,000 years of Bants. Holy fuck.
I wonder how many other long-running
Wait,
shows we would outlive
how-
at that point.
I mean, on YouTube, you
13,000
outlive
years.
everything, bro.
That's true.
What? Yeah,
We'll-
we'd be
we'll
like,
never
We'd be
die.
like, we'd be like two. Where are you pulling 13,000 years? We'd be like 200.
No, because it's
13,000.
all right.
Well,
So it's
The
6969.
voice of God says 133
Alright.
years.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Mm,
That time the voice of God typed it, but still.
Oh,
I feel like you would need to double it.
6969 divided by 52. Is that what we're doing? Yeah. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
134.
No,
Got
no,
it.
13,000 is better. All right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I think
agree.
13,000
because then it's
13,000 is
hopeful.
obviously correct. You know
'cause
why?
now-
Because the number's bigger.
That's true.
You always
then-
want bigger,
But
you know?
isn't it closest without going over?
Yeah.
Like you don't always want bigger if you're
That's
playing The
called
Price is
edging.
Right.
That's called edging.
Oh jeez.
No, not this again.
Dude,
We can't play prices right because there's no
Hey,
Bob Ross, bro.
Speaking
Bob Barker. What the fuck?
Can you
It's gonna be a
imagine
good night.
Bob Ross hosting a game show? No, why don't you just come on down here? Come on down.
Just
Go.
Just give it a
After
nice
that-
little spin. Just a happy little spin.
Happy little spin. Not too much pressure. Whatever you feel is necessary.
Yeah,
Good.
whatever you feel. Your spin might be different than my spin.
Oh,
whatever you
uh,
feel.
look at that. You got the answer wrong, but that's okay. That's okay. You're still gonna be happy. It's okay.
You'll still be happy.
That was so
You'll still-
perfect.
You'll still get one of our lovely consolation prizes. And we thank you for coming out here tonight. That was
Yeah, we
very nice of
really-
you.
Oh my gosh.
I want this now.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of want to do now.
that's the whole.
I'm being
that's the whole
told that's
bit.
it for our show today. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah.
I'm playing
That'd
The Price is Right.
be great.
No,
Oh.
you were very close with 2750, but unfortunately it was 2730, and you just went a little over. That's okay. Maybe you'll get called down next time too, and you can try again.
The game show where
This
everyone
is the
wins.
Bob Ross, such a
Price
chill
is Right.
fucking guy, man.
Oh my god.
Now, question:
What's up?
do you think he would incorporate his painting in some way, or would he
Absolutely.
be painting while hosting
Wow.
the show?
Hold on, no.
Yeah.
That's the
So
one. That's the one right there, I think.
he could be painting, but I think everything now was that game where you like, guess how much that item costs? It's gonna be his painting. Guess how much that painting costs? And he'll be
okay.
like, it's priceless. That's the right answer.
The board though, so like the board and the price are okay. So it's all going to be painted. There's no digital board.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I was
Bob Ross-
thinking. We're on the same
Bob
page.
Ross up there just 52. Just doing his thing up there, writing things.
he's gonna need a 5-hour show for sure.
You-
He's
you
gonna
land-
paint
Dude,
everything
I think everybody would watch it though.
real
Yeah.
time.
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Everybody would watch it.
Someone spins the wheel. Yeah, you landed on the blank space. Now you can whatever you want. We can put that on that blank space for you. So if I can paint it, you can have it.
Now, follow-up question: has anyone listened to Bob Ross while trying to fall asleep?
Yeah, I feel like
I
when
have
Bob
not,
Ross
no.
first came on
No.
Twitch, really.
No.
It works.
Yeah, when Bob
It
Ross,
Does it?
really
I
works.
read it.
Bob
Yeah.
Ross first went on Twitch, I would fire that puppy up, lay down, I'd be out cold.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Actually, interestingly, I think I ate a really big meal and I clicked on Bob Ross on Twitch and I mean, I think it was the insulin crash, but yeah, like I definitely fell asleep to Bob Ross technically.
No, Bob Ross gets credit. It's not the instant crash.
He
He gets
always
all the
gets
credit.
credit.
This also brings up Bob Ross working at fast food drive-through.
Ooh.
Now,
Oh.
do you want the large size with that? It's a
Did you
happy
know-
little meal.
For 30 more cents, you can get the large size drink instead of the medium. What's up to you? Let me know. Just
Some people's mediums are large.
Did you just call me short?
I don't know if I'd want to subject him to that because I feel like the first person would get pissed at how slow he'd be moving.
I'm already thinking the skit was already playing in my head where it's just like he's just getting yelled at now. There's no need for all this aggression. We're just all happy little people. Just trying to have,
here's your
Like
happy
these chicken
sandwiches.
yeah, just a little happy sandwich.
Here's your
you just left all
2
your
sandwiches
on the table. Oh, that's okay.
And a package of Happy Mix. Have a good.
Yeah, there's like a whole. You can come up with a whole elaborate skit for this.
You really
It's
That's hilarious. Someone
we
put that in
could
the
probably
skit.
write it. But yeah,
100%.
You can do this.
Ooh.
So our Devin made it so he doesn't break the fourth wall when he talks to us. But I'm gonna just keep I'm just gonna keep breaking the fourth wall. I'm writing Bob Ross drive-through.
Or if
So
there's
funny.
any
In the Sketch channel.
animators in the audience, I would love to see you guys animate that.
Whoa. Hold on. A restaurant called Bob Ross's and everyone just dressed like Bob Ross. Like everyone that's like employees just looks like Bob Ross.
Okay,
all the trays have to have like little paint spots on it.
They're little
It's
painting things. Now here's the problem though. How do you know which waiter / waitress is yours? You'll just be like calling the wrong person over constantly.
Well, one person is named Bob, the other is Bobby.
Well, no,
I mean, they
so
all look the same too.
The other
no,
one
you
is
just you
Bobison.
take the person's name and replace the first letter with B. So if her name is Molly, Bolly, you know, this is Bolly,
Bolly.
you know.
Yeah.
Nolan B. Bolin, you know.
Bowling.
I'm
Keep
down for
bowling,
that name.
bowling, and bowling.
I'm gonna
Is
change
that a
my name to
copyright claim?
Colin
Is that
now.
going to get us DMCA'd?
No, you wouldn't. Not long enough.
I highly doubt it. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like.
Isn't it
Well,
like
and it's not
5
the
or 10
actual
seconds or
song,
something?
so I think
Well,
we're good.
I'm trying to think. You guys keep talking. I'm going to think of a really funny name to replace the first letter of B with.
For what word?
Because just for
Itch.
a name, where you just.
Connor.
Yeah,
Boner.
Thank you.
there we go. That's it. I was just trying to make boner in my head, and I'm like, all right, let's see, toner, toner. None of these are names. So now
Like my name, you couldn't replace it. You just have to put the
Tony?
B before it.
Tony.
It'd be Anthony. Anthony. It would be really weird.
I think Tony's good. Boney. There you go.
Boney Ross.
Boney.
Hi, y'all. I'm Boney Ross. I'm gonna be your
Ross.
server tonight.
Welcome to Bob's Place. I am Boney Ross.
Big Boss Boney Ross.
What can I get you today?
Look, if my waiter's named Boney Ross, I'm out of there.
Wait, hold on. Top notch service every time.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, man.
fair.
That's discrimination, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Also, I feel like you're
You
gonna
won't
have
get the bone with Boney, you know?
you're gonna have a lot of problems with afro hair getting in people's food.
Did the biggest hairnets, bro. Or you go old school with like the In-N-Out, hat.
The paper hats.
Oh
The
yeah.
paper hats.
Bro, how are you gonna fit the afro into that?
I was gonna say. I'm with Zeke on that one. How's that gonna all fit in there?
It's gonna sit.
It's not
sit in there.
The In and Out hat isn't a magical item in Dungeons and Dragons. It's not a dimensional pocket. You can't just put your afro into the In and Out hat and it's just gone now.
Maybe it's what about the wig is like a beanie painted with the wig on it. So you have a beanie, but it looks like it's hair, but it's clearly fake when someone touches it.
Oh, that'd be
It's just-
interesting because then you could have like the logo and stuff on it too. That would make sense.
You good? You could.
That's smart.
I like it.
You
So
know,
are those required for all the workers to wear, or just the cooks?
I think anybody behind the counter, right?
I think anyone. I think yeah.
Anybody that touches food.
Right.
It's required.
Yeah, there's gonna be afro hair.
I'm
all
not
over
gonna
the
lie. I
field.
think you can see it on my face right now. I'm pretty sure that I either got punched in the face or I got bit.
It's time to play. Did no one get punched in the face or bit?
Like, look at this
Zoom
shit,
in, zoom
man.
in.
Oh, look at that.
Oh my lord!
Well, did anybody hit you while you were? I mean, you wouldn't have known
Yeah.
if you got hit, right?
I mean, yeah, unless they hit me so hard, I just passed
I just
out.
forgot. Yeah.
But all the
Just woke
timelines
up.
add up, so I mean, I think I'm good.
Last thing you know, I was at work and then I wake up in my own bed, like, what the hell?
Yeah. So something must have been really sneaky. That's impressive. I got a hand
Spider?
going.
Someone got you now.
Yeah, I mean, if they bit me right here, man, and I didn't see him, then I got to give him
So-
props. I'd probably give him $10.
If you punch Nolan in the face and he didn't know about it, leave a comment below so he can give you $10.
Yeah, so
$10.
$10.
It's on the table.
Drop your Cash App in the comments below.
Yeah.
yeah. Everybody.
Just
Cash App, proud sponsor of 100 Thieves, who is sponsoring Anthony.
thank you, Nate Shop, for making such a nice sweater.
Dude. So on the topic of Bob Ross, I want to jump to another Bob. So I found Anthony and our lovely recorder man are very familiar with the video that I saw while I was on my trip of the deer sucking off another deer, where it's a guy golfing, and then there's a guy commenting. He's like, unfazed right now as there's currently a deer sucking off another deer. Now, this video, literally, like, I almost died when I first saw it, because the lead up to this was like, my friend was just linking golf TikToks randomly in our group chat. And then so I just see this and I'm thinking it's just another golf video, and then guy commentating over and says deer sucking off another deer. But I found out who this guy is. And he has like tons of commentary things like this.
Like who did the voiceover?
And it was like I started watching it yesterday because one of my friends messaged me on Discord and was like, I found the deer sucking off another deer guy. And I opened it, I'm like eating, and I'm like, I cannot watch this while eating. I will choke to death. This is too funny. So if you want to just die laughing, look up Bob Menery. That's spelled Menery.
All right, I will have to look at these.
It's oh my god,
dive into it.
Great time.
If my right eye, or like both my eyes, are just like shut, I'm not falling asleep. It's just that I put menthol on this thing.
You put menthol in your eyes?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like a CBD formula or what have you, and now it's kind of burning my right eye. It reminds me of when I put Tiger Balm under my eyelid so that I can stay awake.
Hold on. You put Tiger Balm underneath your eyelid so you can stay awake?
Yes.
Oh, God.
We're gonna go
right below my eyes, rather. Yeah, I mean, and that stuff works. Let me tell you.
Remember,
it just gives you the biggest adrenaline rush.
Oh my god.
Good lord.
Remember this moment 10 minutes from now, viewers, for when you hear Nolan screaming randomly that it's
his eyes
is putting things in his eyes.
Live on air, we might see this.
This is gonna be our new show. Nolan puts things in his eyes.
Yes.
Next week, habanero pepper.
Yes.
Oh my god. Let's play a game. What's in my eye? Yeah, in 10 minutes his eyes gonna be swollen shut. It's gonna be from the menthol
Halo with
or
only left eye.
Yeah.
Or whether
that's hard.
The venom is gonna make his way to your eyes and take them.
One of Nolan's eyes is shut, and we've set up this obstacle course for him. There's nothing in front of him. He just has to walk in a straight fucking line. Can he do it? There's one wooden pillar.
Oh, I think it's wearing off. I think we're all good. Watch my eye just fall out.
He's gonna make it.
It's gonna.
But
I'm glad you survived that.
We'll jump back to
USB cable here. We'll get back to that. Go on.
The mystery USB cable. We'll get back to Nolan's eye situation and USB cable. Yeah. Brian, you also went on a trip recently.
I did. I went over to the motherland known as Los Angeles, California.
Why is that the motherland? What is that? How does that qualify as the motherland?
Russia. I mean, hell, you could have said like Hoth. But Los Angeles is not the. I don't think Los Angeles, City of Angels, they call it. I've never heard the motherland.
So I just wanted to say that because I just wanted to see the reactions.
I was gonna say everyone's trying to get away from that motherland.
We just got clickbaited.
Yeah, look at that clickbait. So that was the first time I've ever been to California, and I see why people are fleeing the state.
Really? You've never been to California prior to that?
Why? What's up?
Yeah, you've never been to Cali prior to
no,
that?
Let me give my 2 cents. LA sucks ass.
Yeah.
If you live in LA, why? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, please let us know.
Please let us know. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why are you living there?
What are the redeeming qualities about LA?
There's a really good Ethiopian restaurant. That's one.
I'm sure the food is great. I mean, we didn't do a whole lot of exploring because we were just going for a concert for a couple days. So
the only problem is if, like, while you're going to that restaurant, you step on a needle.
What?
Yeah,
that's really the issue.
Likely scenario. Or if you're in San Francisco, you just get assaulted by homeless people constantly.
Right. Yeah.
It's basically a side-scrolling beat 'em up. San Francisco is literally a side-scrolling beat 'em up.
I thought you're going somewhere else with that line. I thought you're going somewhere else.
Wait, what did I say? I don't even remember what I said. First, I don't even remember what I said first off, but where was I going?
You said
you were talking about side scroller beat 'em up in San Francisco.
yes, but you said the beat up E or the beat upper.
Guys,
the beat upper was a homeless person. I thought you were going somewhere else with that.
I told you this before, I think.
Oh.
God damn, Nolan, put that thing away.
Listen,
but that's Chief.
Yeah, your Master Chief is sticking out.
I just discovered it can glow Xbox.
Hey, you just discovered that? How long have you had that?
Since Christmas.
4 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you had that since Halo 3 days, that would have been sick.
That would be.
If it still lights up 15 years later.
That's impressive.
I like Nolan just whipping out his Master Chief just.
Now was
I'm like, there's some real like the most like Halo addict.
That's
Halo
actually a great name
of all time.
Whip
just
out my
like,
Master Chief.
Yeah, they're just like that is just like they call their fun zone Master Chief. And they're just like they just meet people. They're like, yeah, you like Halo?
Wait. You don't call yours that? Or?
Too small. Got him. Don't feature me again. You're old.
This is literally the most retarded thing.
Oh my god.
All right. So anyway, Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we went there for 2 days, and most of it was just driving, because of where we're at. So it's like a 6-hour drive, and there's a lot more desert in California than I thought. We were like 2-3 hours of just desert, and we were past the California state line, and I wasn't expecting that at all. And then also the gas prices are just insane. People aren't kidding about that gas. It was like $50 for a half tank when I can spend that here.
One of my friends, when we went to get gas, when he visited for a few days before the end of the year, and he's like, wait, that's how cheap your gas is here? And I'm like, what's yours? He's like 5'10". I'm like, what the hell? Your gas is taller than me.
But it was insane.
Gas is crazy out there, especially if you're in between like small towns or something like that. It's even worse.
Yeah.
Like this gas station is always like, if it was 5 in LA, it's probably 6. On your way to LA.
Yeah, we didn't go to downtown. We kind of stayed on the like outskirts of it, where the Forum and SoFi stadiums were at. So the concert was at the Forum, and little did we know until we got there that the football game was also happening that day at like almost the exact same time. So the group I was seeing was a K-pop group. So K-pop is my wife's Star Wars. She's like diehard into it, and this is her favorite group of all time. And so it was really funny to see all these like football heads and then K-pop people all mixed into together and like trying to go to the same stadiums that are just right next to each other. It was crazy.
So a bunch of 40-year-olds and a bunch of 20-year-olds is mixing.
Yeah, like a bunch of like teenagers, and then 40-year-olds just go to the football
one of the
game.
40-year-olds is like, yeah, I'm definitely here for the football.
Let me with my football shirt on.
I love football, not those twinkle toes K-pop guys who I love listening to. Maybe.
But
just imagining a guy with a football jersey drinking a Bud Light at a K-pop concert, and it's awesome.
Oh, I couldn't even find the beer. So the venue was so disorganized, they had no signs up or anything. But we did manage to park next to the stadium, so that was nice.
What group did you say?
ATs. I highly recommend them. They are actually pretty good. They're really good live too.
ATs.
Yeah. Boom. I'm actually wearing one of those shirts too.
Sounds like a State Farm.
I know. They have the crazy names. So, but she went to go see. So this is her second time in LA, because before that she went to go see the group, which is BTS. They're like the biggest group in the world, and they completely sold out SoFi, which holds like I think 300,000 some people, something like that, and they sold it out. Or am I shooting a little too low?
Keep going. I'll find out.
BTS is great. You don't need to find it. We have a guy to find. Devin!
Yeah. We need you. And but yeah, so this was her second time going there. And but yeah, there was no signs for the lines or anything. And so people just started lining up because they weren't telling us where to go. And so we were all just standing out by the stadium, and people were just standing in the middle of like where the cars were going by. And then some lady comes by and is like, hey, you have to move the line because you guys are going to get hit by cars, because cars were coming through. And and there was just a mass of people just right there. And so then everybody shuffles to the side a little bit, but they're still in the way of traffic. So they move us again. And the whole time we're standing in line, people are like, what line is this for? Is this for the floor? Is this for like general admission? Like, where are we? People are like, we don't know. We don't know at all. And so then eventually we managed to get up to the stadium, and so we're all standing outside like the doors, because we were told the doors were going to open up at 6. They didn't open up till almost 7.
I feel like this was just a social experiment. What happens when a bunch of K-pop people try to walk into a stadium with no direction?
I mean, I'm surprised if I wouldn't be surprised if there was maybe an outbreak of something, because at one point they had us completely smashed together in front of the doors because they were not opening up the doors. And I mean, we were like shoulder to shoulder with like easily a couple hundred people. And so they just were not opening up the doors, and people are ready to open up the, like, just let us get in there. Like, we want to get seated, and we don't want to be in close quarters. Everyone's getting antsy. And then on the screen, right where we were standing, is the Rams game, the football game. And there was a couple of dads just lined up in front of it watching it.
All the dads had to be there with their kids.
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. You could tell there was a lot of like parents dragged to this thing. And but yeah, so that part was really funny. And then they opened up the doors, and people were almost getting trampled because it was a mad dash to get in there. So we get inside, move maybe 10-12 feet, another set of doors that are shut. So we basically move a little bit further in, and they're not letting us in any further.
This is just a horror game.
Yeah, it really is. Of just like, how can you survive like being cattle, basically?
Guys, the door's locked. Do we have the blue key?
Yeah.
Anyone got the blue key?
So, and then people are pushing each other because they're all like diehard fans and stuff. They want to get in there, and then they open up the second set of doors, and then everybody just rushes in because now you can get to the seats. And then we actually finally got into the concert, and then it turns out the show was delayed, and they didn't tell us why. So we're already super behind at this point. But then we get to our seats and everything, and it was probably the best sounding show I've ever been to. I have to say the sound systems on it were incredible. They had these like, I don't know, probably like maybe like 10-12 feet like 4K screens that were everywhere. Massive 4K screens, and they were vibrating the whole time. And then you had all the fans just screaming and screeching the whole time, and it was a good show. It actually was a really fun show. It was just very chaotic leading up to it because it was just disorganized and nobody knew where to go, and we just kind of went into the show.
Everyone's just running in.
Yeah, everyone running in and just ready to go. And so that was actually a lot of fun. And then we stayed at kind of a dingy hotel.
I wonder how many people got into the concert who just blended in with the crowd.
Well, apparently my wife was telling me that the BTS one was so bad that people were actually getting in for free because they were just letting people go because it just got so out of hand. Because this one was getting a little out of hand, but I guess BTS got really bad at one point. And so that's what she was telling me, is that people got in for free.
I have a friend that's like, I would love to see BTS, but they're always sold out. It's so expensive. Like, you definitely just show up and walk in, and no one will question you.
Yeah,
probably could get away with it.
Yeah,
with the give a shit.
With the concert being in Cali, did you need? Did you have to wear a mask the whole time, or did you need to show your vaccination card or anything?
Both.
Oh.
Yeah, so they would not let you into the venue with your without a vaccine card. So you had to be fully vaccinated. So you had to show your ID and your vaccine card. And then once you got past that, then they scanned you again and for the actual ticket. So you had to get past the COVID checkpoint to get to the ticket checkpoint. and then get to the door checkpoint, and then get to the second door checkpoint, and then you could sit down.
I wish you like vlogged this and we could edit in like a Resident Evil inventory as you're like walking around trying to get into things.
No, my inventory is full.
Oh my
But
God.
so there was that, and then we had to wear masks the whole time. I couldn't, and like I said, I think there was food places around, but we couldn't find any. There was just so many people just clumped together that I couldn't even find it, and nor would I really want to eat anything, because normally I like to get a drink or something while I'm at a show, but with everything that's going on, it's like, no, I think I'm like, we're already kind of pushing it being here as it is, so we should probably just keep our masks on and just stay just trying together and do that. So, but no, it was a good show. It was really fun, and I really hope to see them again.
How was the stage set? Was it in the middle of the stadium, or was it on one end of the stadium?
On one end. It was on
Okay.
one end, and then on the other end of it, they had like all the cameras and everything set up, and then the sound system. And since they don't play any instruments or anything and just dance to the music, it was kind of a smallish stage, but there's 8 of them in the group, so they needed enough room for at least 8 guys to dance around the stage. So it wasn't a super huge stage, but so that's how they had that set up.
With 8 members, do they even have backup dancers?
They do. A couple of the songs they would bring out some backup dancers. I think there was like 4 or 5 of them, because they came out and bowed with the group after they were done with the show. So,
Anybody faint? Come across anybody faint?
So there was one part, because they like to do the breaks in between them, and so they started talking, because they like to talk to the fans and everything and tell them how much they thank them and and stuff. And there was one girl that was losing her mind up there. I mean, she was screeching at. Was it? You were there?
GG, that was me.
GG, bro. GG.
Pterodactyl screeching.
But yeah, she was. I mean, I would be surprised if they couldn't hear her, because I mean, we were pretty high up, and but she was just screeching her lungs out, being like, "I love you," just doing the whole thing, and just kept on going the whole time while they were trying to talk, and everybody were like in our area was just kind of like awkwardly giggling the whole time, and just like, oh, this person's crazy.
they need some of that Bob Ross energy.
Oh man,
Yeah,
yes.
they definitely needed some of that. So
Did they do the typical boy band thing where they pull some people up onto
No.
the stage? No.
Oh no, because they don't want to risk.
That's COVID.
Yeah, they don't want to risk getting sick, especially since they're from Korea. So
True.
yeah, because they already had to cancel this previously because of the pandemic. Because she's had tickets for over 2 years now. Because she was going to go on the show, and then the pandemic hit, and they had to stop the tour altogether and go back home.
Oh yeah,
And-
that's what happened.
I just got an image of. Continue.
No, you go first, sir.
I was gonna say now he's got like, if they want to do that, he's got an image of like a clear box that they put the person in, and they just kind of stand there.
Dancing their little box.
Like a little plexiglass, and then
little
with the
esports booth.
stool. Yes,
We might be heading in that direction. I don't know, but luckily they didn't have to have like a box or anything. They were just very obviously separated just far enough. But I don't think they ever want to bring them that close, just because people are psycho, especially in that area of media.
Now they have an excuse to not have to get close to the crazy fans.
Just keep enough distance.
Yeah, it's not that we're scared of you, crazy psychopaths. It's just COVID.
Yep. So yeah, the dingy hotel that we stayed at was your typical kind of like Motel 6 looking place. I think it was just a really, really old hotel, but it was right by LAX too. And so we could hear
Saga continues.
Yeah, so we could hear all the planes flying overhead, and it had like swamp lights kind of lighting in the parking lot, because we didn't get back until like almost 1 a.m. And so I mean, it was like bright ass parking lot, which I was really thankful for.
You would say it was next to LAX, but it wasn't very lax.
No, not laxing at all. So, but we made it out alive. The car made it out alive.
Man, why are you so damn corny?
Dude,
Oh.
the puns and the dad jokes are the best, bro.
Yeah, they are. They're too powerful.
Yeah, truly.
And then last thing about the trip was I saw one funny billboard that I questioned, but it was very funny. It was just a kid sitting in a backseat of a car with his headphones on, and he's just looking out the window. And then in big bold letters next to him, it says, "Do you love your kids? Check in the backseat if they're there." That's all it says.
Kids just like get out of the car and just get left behind. And
No.
So yeah, that's what we were trying to figure out after I saw that billboard. We're like, so how many kids have been left at gas stations and stuff for that to be put up?
Yes. Oh my God.
So-
I was hoping you were gonna say that they were like the ones in I Love You Man, where he puts all those billboards up. The main character, just different costumes.
oh
Like,
yeah,
yeah. I thought it was gonna be something like that.
we did see one of them where it was two lawyers that were doing the Step Brothers thing with like the sweaters and the like looking up.
Zeke, they're
and
still in
while-
our bit, bro.
Yeah, so they had one of those out there.
We should put one next to there saying this is our
This is our
Yeah.
bit.
this is our bit. Get your own bit.
Yeah.
we did it better.
So, but yeah, it was a good time. It was really fun, and I think we'll try and go back in maybe a couple months because we want to go see the beach because we were really close to Venice, but since we both had to work the following day, we decided, we should probably head back. And then we also want to try downtown Hollywood at least once. At least once, I'd like to go down there so I can go to the Star Wars canteen.
Of course.
Speaking of Star Wars,
Of
course.
you
Hold
gotta
on.
watch Book of Boba Fett. It's such a good show, but I'll discuss it later when it is completed because there's one more episode.
But what I was gonna say earlier was, yeah, like tons of concerts and stuff got canceled. Yeah, even our intern says Book of Boba Fett is great.
Ah, yes,
he
good job,
also-
Devin.
He also mentioned something about you speaking to Peach Crown.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. I like read that and
Do,
I'm like,
do you
huh.
like talk to bottles of?
That's
Peach
what I'm
Crown?
like.
do you-
I'm
Was
like,
this
I
on
feel
your
like-
trip? Like,
I
did
feel
you get
like-
tore up and you're just like,
Yeah,
oh,
what?
Peach Crown, you make me feel so good.
That's what I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
recall any of this happening. But
Yeah,
Um,
speaking of
probably
trips,
the Peach
you went
Crown.
on one.
I also
You were gone for 10 days, dude.
You
So-
were. I was only gone for 2.
So what? I still gotta finish my initial thought here. There was also like a Final Fantasy. I forget if it's called like Worlds Apart or what. It's something like that. But there was that concert a couple of years ago that I don't know if it ever resumed. That got canceled. That's supposed to be super cool. So if someone knows if that's back, let me know. But yeah, I was gone for 10 days, and let me tell you, O'Hare Airport sucks. Beggar's
Yeah, it
Pizza, dude. All right, give me a minute here. All right, Beggar's Pizza. So
Is
I
it
thought
that
I'm
bad or
like,
that good?
it's probably not as good as I remember it being. I got the Beggar's Pizza, touched my lips. Oh my god, I was in heaven. That's all I can remember. The Beggar's Pizza. So get. Oh, I'm gonna slap the shit out of this boy right now. Yeah. So I remember I talked a little bit about it last week. I don't remember what all I mentioned, but there was so I went back to the Midwest for a surprise party for my buddy, and we had some. I know I talked about Devin talking about tight men.
Tight man, and he
and the
aged
thing-
2 years in one night.
And the thing that he had to cut out several times. Which now I feel like I could just say that statement as like if we need to cut something, I just say that, and that's just our marker for cut this out.
It's not bad.
But yeah, we had a. Yeah, I'm trying to because I'm like I don't want to say what I already said. But did I talk about how the surprise was almost ruined 6 hours before?
I remember you telling me that story.
No, not on here.
Okay,
Did you not?
Devin said yeah.
I thought you did.
Yeah, I think.
Say it,
feel
and
like I
we can
called
always
that one.
we always cut it out.
I think we already said that. If I hadn't already said it,
I don't
Too bad.
know.
Yeah.
I will sum it up. He went to the grocery store a few hours before the party. Someone at the party saw him, and you're lucky the surprisee wasn't with me.
yeah,
It would have ruined the whole thing.
yeah, basically. Let's see. Yeah, I didn't do a whole. I just saw my nieces and hung out. We watched Pitch Perfect 3. That was great.
Have you seen the other Pitch Perfects?
Oh yeah, of course.
What do you think of them all as a
I love all the Pitch Perfects. All right,
I do too. I am not as into the third one though.
they're all great. They're all fantastic. What's your favorite Pitch Perfect song?
Titanium.
I know I get a kick out of the original Bella song when they're all in the flight suits before Anna Kendrick joins. I can't remember the song. I think they that one's good. And then this makes for great radio.
Yeah.
I really liked the end song of Pitch Perfect 2 that the new girl writes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I stick to the classic When I'm Gone. Anna Kendrick singing When I'm Gone. I also thought it was cool that everyone actually learned how to sing for that movie.
Mm-hmm.
They all learned how to sing a cappella, which is insane. As someone who has zero ability to sing but loves singing. Incredible.
It is, yeah.
Crazy talented kids.
Those crazy kids.
Oh. Yeah, my trip wasn't that exciting.
All that talent.
A lot of big chilling. We watched the new Matrix movie. Don't know why everyone hates it so much.
I haven't seen it yet.
Thought it was fine.
Okay.
I haven't seen it.
Miss Lawrence Fishburne. Other than that, great.
Spoiler. Goddamn.
That's not even a spoiler.
I know. It's in the trailer.
God damn. You spoiled that he
Spoiled the trailer, bro.
You spoiled the trailer.
the trailer.
Listen, if you haven't seen the new Matrix yet and you're listening to this podcast and I just ruined that for you, I don't know what to tell you, all right? It's been out for like 2 months.
You need to rethink your life.
You ran out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's good. So I mean, I heard that they didn't absolutely fuck it up at the very least. So
yeah, but I heard just people. I heard people complaining and stuff like crazy. I'm like, all right, and then it was a fine movie. It's not going to be as good as the original Matrix, but
yeah,
that's a given.
Yeah.
Fine piece of cinema.
Shoveled some snow, of course. Always gotta shovel some snow when you go back to the Midwest in winter. Did not get blizzarded in, surprisingly. But that's happening this week, apparently, is when it's freezing cold and they're at 10 inches of snow already. So dodge that one.
I know the night before he came back, he's like, blizzard's happening. Yeah. We'll let you know if my flight doesn't get canceled.
Yeah. There's a definite chance that the airport, O'Hare Airport is already a disaster. And then if you, it was like 2 inches of snow, like 10 hours before my flight, and stuff was messed up the entire day. It's crazy.
So I was thinking that we could go down the list of topics, but Brian pointed out Spider-Man, and I think we've been meaning to talk about this for like a million years.
Oh, yeah,
did you actually see it?
No, I've never. I already said you guys can talk about it. I'm just gonna do this thing.
Are you sure? Because this would be one that I genuinely don't want to spoil.
Yeah,
Mr. Intern, where are we at on time? Do we have enough time?
You also have to consider my memory is absolutely terrible, so I will forget that we even had this conversation.
Okay.
We can do discussion with that much time about Spider-Man if you want.
You've seen it?
Yeah, I saw it Christmas night.
Okay.
And because I did it Christmas night because I'm like, all right, cool, we're gonna talk about it. I gotta get out the way.
Get it out the way.
I gotta get. Well, I mean, because we're gonna record in 2 days, and then.
Seeing the new Spider-Man movie is such a chore.
Oh, I enjoyed it. But I wish I didn't go Christmas night. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, was it packed? I bet it was.
Yeah, it was packed. Yes.
Wow. Yeah.
And it was like 11, like a 10:30 showing, so we didn't get home until like 1.
Yeah.
But it was good.
Yeah.
That's the best time to watch a movie.
Right? Oh man. And I've been on fire going to the movie theaters since the beginning of the year. Since Spider-Man, I've seen 5 movies already. But let's talk about Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Yo.
All right. Well, yeah. There's a billion things you could talk about first.
Well, Anthony, quick impressions. Quick impressions. What do you guys think overall?
I can't do a Spider-Man impression.
That's I'm like,
impressions of the movie.
No, we want to see your Willem Dafoe impression, man.
Oh, he's fucking. No, that's him. He's got the face for it. There it is.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah.
I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No.
I could be like the best friend. Me and him kind of got the same body shape going. Spider-Man's best friend.
What, Ned?
Yeah, I don't know his name. Sorry.
Hey, if he worked at the Bob Ross restaurant, his name would be Bed. That's pretty dope.
Oh man.
That would be pretty
Oh.
awesome.
But I enjoyed it, man. It was great. I'm not a fan of what's his face, Doctor Mysterio. No, the Who character.
Rey Mysterio Jr.
No, the Doctor Who guy. I'm not a fan of him. That movie.
Doc Ock?
No,
Doctor
Strange.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Doctor
wasn't. I
Strange.
saw this Doctor Strange movie, and I was just like, I wasted my time watching that movie.
Why? I
Oh.
love Doctor Strange. What was your
I
problem?
don't know. Everything.
I think Doctor Strange is. I don't mind him, but I think he's used as kind of like a cop out answer to a few things in the movie. So that would be my only critique towards it. Is a lot of this stuff was kind of built up, and then it was like, spin some circle, we're good. And
Doctor Strange.
yeah. So it was like, it was good, and I didn't necessarily mind it near the end, but it was like, I also wanted more out of it, and not just the okay, we're good,
All I'm saying is, like, I'm not a big fan of Doctor Strange. So it's cool that they kept them to a minimum. Just a small side story.
I am glad that he disappeared into the Grand Canyon for a few hours. So
He said like 12 hours, right? Or 16 hours?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think the movie was well done. I like how both actors, Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, were able to come back into
Reprise
their
their
role
roles.
so easily.
Yes.
They were really good at portraying that character that they hadn't portrayed for so long, which I appreciated, because I figured like they may not be used to it, and the writers or the directors of the movie may have been, in a mindset that these guys are going to be someone different than they were in those movies in some capacity, like kind of like retcon their character a little bit into something that isn't what it really was. But they did a really good job at keeping everything really consistent and really like it's the Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3. Like, he's already gone through all this stuff, and he still has the same lessons that he learned. Same with Andrew Garfield, and they all have what they've learned from those movies, and they bring it over to Tom Holland's Spider-Man. And I think it was well done.
It blended really well.
Yeah. I expected it to be a little bit of a mess. Honestly, going into it, I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work well with all these different characters, But then again, they made Infinity War, so it's like that was a good movie. So I genuinely liked it. I think it was awesome.
How many thumbs up do you give it?
3.5.
3 for me.
Out of how many thumbs?
2.
Three out of 2.
Yeah, 3.5 out of 2. But I really I think my favorite character and my favorite just performance of the movie was Willem Dafoe, to be certain. Like, he was fucking awesome. I loved him in Spider-Man 1, and I of course loved all the others' portrayal of their characters. I loved that Doc Ock was back, but Green Goblin being back, I wish he had his costume on a little bit later.
I hate that he only had the mask for a little bit.
Yeah, I wish the mask.
That mask is creepy as fuck.
It is, man. And I thought it was awesome. So I wish he had left that on a little bit longer, but he did an excellent job. One of the best things, one of the most oh shit moments to me in this movie was Spider-Man beating up on him in the hallway, and he just starts laughing at him.
Yeah,
like I'm just not even phased by this. I'm having fun,
That's you have a psychopath on your hands.
Yeah, It's like, holy shit! Like, this guy is way more powerful than me. He doesn't give a fuck about my little punches. Like, what's going on?
No,
I trained really hard for that role.
Yeah, when they were back at Happy's place, and you see the switch from when he goes from good guy to bad guy, this flip, it was so good. It was, and then the laugh and the smile, just he portrayed the bad guy really good. He has the facials for it.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, he really does. Fucking awesome performance by Willem Dafoe. Best performance in the movie, I think. Everybody did great.
Everyone did great. Everyone played their parts, but he stood out so well.
He was awesome. yeah, just the way he laughs is enough to be like, all right, it gains a couple points. Like I just love the Green Goblin, man, the way he does it. So
we're gonna need you guys to like give some thumbs up so then Devin can edit. Like, you can edit more thumbs. Yeah, so you can take your thumb and put in another 2.5.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
2.5.
It's gosh, what were other things in this movie that were?
Well, I'm real interested how they, because everyone lost their memories at the end. Reset everything. Like how they're going to work himself back into everyone's life again if they make a fourth one. I'm real interested in that. That was a great cliffhanger.
Okay, when it was ending and he went into the apartment, I was so hoping that it was going to be the Mr. Dickovich apartment from Spider-Man 2 and 3, like the guy that goes rent.
Yeah.
I was really, really hoping that it was going to be that apartment because it looked worn down at first. It kind of looked like rugged or whatever, and then it pans over and it's like, okay, this is a different building. But gosh, I wish they had done that. That would have been awesome.
That would have been really cool. We're gonna get the poor college kid arc now.
Right. And so I think this is kind of where Tom Holland's Spider-Man really takes off for me, because the first two movies that he was in, well, I'm sorry, his standalone movies, had very little emotional weight. Like,
yeah, I could agree with that.
It was like, oh, I fucked everything up and I blew up a store or a bank or whatever it was. It was like, oh, everything's fine.
Yeah.
Everything was just fine afterwards, no matter what he did. And this one was awesome. And I think it's partially because Aunt May died. I think that added a lot to the movie was death. Death makes stories good in a sense if done right, and that was actual emotional weight that both of those actors did very well on as well. So I really liked that. But
Speaking of character death, my favorite author, Brandon Sanderson, has an amazing write-up on character death and how a lot of things do it lazily and poorly.
Oh, really?
And it's very fascinating. And then when things do it right, it makes you appreciate it that much more.
Does he mention the rule, as I always call it? So the rule is if you never see a character die on screen, they're coming back. And that has ruined so many like pretend deaths for me, because it's true almost every single time. If they don't die on screen, then they're going to come back in some shape or form.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You'll have to read it to find out.
Oh, check it out.
Right. But like Anthony said, I am interested to see what they're going to do with how he's going to reincorporate into their lives. And I wonder, one thing that I heard, and it would make sense, is like he could have gone up to Mary Jane or whatever.
Yeah, it's Mary
Jones.
Jane.
Well, yeah, it's MJ, but like Jones, Miss Jones, whatever. But
I think her full name is like Mary Jane Jones or something.
If she worked at the Bob Ross restaurant, her name would be Miss Bones.
But yeah, I am interested to see how he reincorporates. So I think when he was going up to her in the coffee shop or whatever it was, that he could have just spilled the beans and been like, oh yeah, I'm this, I'm that, and you went on adventures with me, and this is how it was, and we were in love, blah blah blah. But I think he stopped himself. It looked like he was about to say a bunch, and then he just stopped. And I think that was the internal decision to basically like, man, I feel like I almost got her killed.
Yeah.
And I don't want to put her in danger again. So we're kind of going to that original arc from Tobey Maguire's movies in some sense, to where it's like I can't tell Mary Jane that I'm Spider-Man because that'll put her in danger. So I think there's going to be more emotional weight in the movies coming forward, hopefully. But we don't.
Michelle Jones,
okay.
Yeah, it's great because like she has a normal life now. Why are you gonna mess it up? Because you saw what happened prior. So let's keep her on that, keep her as normal as possible. Play low key, bring your status down a little bit, hide in the shadows a little more. Don't be out there so everyone knows who you are, because you have a fresh start again.
Yeah, but he's alone now. Like,
Yeah. Okay,
So is Batman. Everyone's alone.
but Batman's got Alfred and like 5 Robins.
Yeah.
something that bothered me about
There is 5 Robins.
Well, okay.
There's Nightwing. There's
Chris O'Donnell Robin.
There's second Robin, and there's Damian, and then there's the girl. Yeah, there's 5. Yeah.
I like how when he mentioned the second Robin, it was just like, yeah, there's he mentioned a name, and there's like,
I'm forgetting the names right now.
One, and like, oh, that's convincing. Yes. Something that did bother me about this movie is when Doctor Strange, it all has to do with Doctor Strange, of course, but Doctor Strange was doing the spells, right, to make everybody forget initially the first time in the movie. Yeah. And then he would add these rings to the spell around him and Peter. And that was, I guess, indicative of another person knowing that he was Spider-Man and not someone that wasn't going to forget that he was Spider-Man. But near the end of the movie, then, he can't just add rings. He can't just modify the spell a little bit like he could before. I know it was like, the multiverse is crashing and everything's dying or whatever, but or collapsing. But it just seemed a little. It seemed a little lazy to me because it seemed like you could do this before. Why can't you just make it to where at least one person knows? And maybe he did. We don't know. But I just found it a little weird how he could modify the spell in the beginning of the movie, and then all of a sudden, near the end of the movie, he can't modify the spell. So I found that weird.
It's because now people are going to start knowing what it's like to read the comic books, where stuff like this happens all the time.
Yeah.
Because these movies are going on pretty long now, and now they're starting to pull from the bottom of the barrel on stuff. Yeah. And so I think that's what it's going to start being, because it's obvious that multiverses are going to be Marvel's new thing, since they don't have the stones anymore. So I think that's where they're leading to, because like you have the Doctor Strange 2 that's going to go into even further with the multiverses, because now there's apparently an evil Doctor Strange. And so, yeah, the multiverses. And then the WandaVision show touches on it a little bit. And then we have Spider-Man. And so, yeah, I think multiverses are going to become a hot thing right now.
Yeah, I think so, too. I mean, it's a very easy way to do fan service.
Yeah, especially when they're ready to do the X-Men. I think that might be the next big one, is like Hugh Jackman's in from another dimension.
Right. I mean,
it would be.
Like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Gosh, so just a quick off-topic thing. Have you guys seen the new? Probably came out like 3 months ago, but it's the new Wolverine game. I think it's a game trailer.
No.
Yeah, the one that's made by Insomniac.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I hope that's gonna be awesome.
What is this game?
I think it's just called Wolverine, or
of course.
Marvel's Wolverine. But
right. The trailer was really well done.
Yes,
it was like.
Is it a side scroller?
Canada?
Is it a side scroller beat 'em up or what?
No, well, I don't think so.
I think it's gonna be, since it's Insomniac doing it, who did the PS4 Spider-Man game, which is really good.
Right.
If my guess is, it's gonna be Assassin's Creed like, where you're gonna be sneaking around and stealth killing people as Wolverine.
Dudes.
Yeah, so I think it might kind of lead more towards that, because you don't have the movement of Spider-Man.
Right. Yeah.
But I think it'll still be open world, because Wolverine's known to drive a motorcycle. So I think that's the route that they're gonna go, but I'm not 100% sure.
I was thinking about evil Doctor Strange, and I realized the way you make him evil is you just call him Mr. Strange. If you're named Mr. something in a comic, you're evil.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
So what are I guess what we'll go through what's your favorite part of the Spider-Man movie, and then closing thoughts on it. So Anthony, favorite part
was when towards the end where he's fighting Goblin by himself. But the other two Spider-Mans, Toby takes the either a shot or a bullet or something. Not a bullet, doesn't have a gun, but he takes a hit and he's down, but he finally just whips his ass and just keeps punching and punching and punching, and that's where like the rage of Aunt May dying comes in.
Yeah.
And that's where you see the turn, like he can be dangerous for himself.
That's how Anthony punches. How am I losing to this guy in the last thumbnail? I got short person hurt box. This guy can't punch. I think we need to readjust the health bars and figure this thumbnail.
But yeah, and then they pull him back. Yo, he's done. It's, you beat him. Don't need to kill him.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought that was good.
But the rage.
The rage.
Yeah.
It's slowly coming out. So that's why I'm looking forward to.
Okay. Brian, who's your favorite?
For me, it was probably Andrew Garfield saving Mary Jane. Because so I do really like his Spider-Man movies, and I really kind of wish he kept going with them because he really, I felt, kind of fit Spider-Man. But I also love Tom Holland as well, and of course Tobey Maguire. I mean, all three of them are great in their own ways. But it was really cool seeing that scene of him be like, redeeming himself from Gwen, and it just the way he reacted. I mean, I felt like he kind of stole the show with it all, and just the emotion he brought and how funny he was. And because leading up to it, I was trying to convince myself that it wasn't true that they were going to be in it. I thought, okay, the villains.
I remember that we talked about this.
Yeah, because I was like, the villains, it's one thing to get them in, but it's a whole other thing to get the Spider-Man in. But then when we were watching it in the theater and they showed that silhouette of Andrew Garfield, my wife, she genuinely thinks Andrew is probably her favorite one. And so she was like slapping me in the theater. She's like, they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Because like everybody in the theater was freaking out at the same time.
What the fuck is going on here, man?
Uh-oh, he's back.
I thought you were gonna be like, you saw the silhouette and the popcorn began to rise.
And but yeah, so she was slapping me and saying that like, oh, they're actually gonna do it, and then he comes out of the shadows, and I was like, God damn it, they actually did it. They brought him in and they managed to keep it quiet. And even though everyone was kind of hustling and talking about it and stuff, but I was like, I think that's just too hopeful on our parts that they would go that far, but they did it, and I think it turned out really good. I liked the way Tobey was, because I felt like what you were saying, Nolan, how it felt, like Spider-Man 3, Spider-Man, but it kind of felt like also those, like, I think it's like been 15 years since Spider-Man 3, like 14, 15 years.
Yeah,
and so I think they kind of like aged his character up a little bit too, because he talked about Mary Jane a little bit and stuff. So I like to think that he did end up getting married to her.
He talked about life since then.
Yeah, and so that he kind of was doing that more adulting side of things now. And then like Andrew, I think, was still like trying to find himself and stuff. So I think it'd be cool if we got Andrew continuing the Sony side of it, but then Tom Holland kept the Disney side of it, because we have the little Venom cameo at the end, which I really thought that was good, because I love Tom Holland Venom. I think he's really funny, and the way they have with that, it's too bad that he's not in the best of movies. Like, he's really good and stands above those movies, and I wish he could get out of those and like over to Tom Hollandville, or like bring Andrew Garfield in and have those two.
You said Tom Holland Venom? You mean Tom Hardy, right?
Oh, Tom Hardy, yeah. Too many Tom H's.
Right, I know. Okay, just wanted to make sure.
But I liked that, and so I'm wondering if maybe we'll continue the Sony verse, like what they were originally planning, until the Disney kind of like borrowing went through. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen with that, because a lot of people were pretty positive on that. So maybe we'll even get Tobey back too. But overall, I freaking loved the movie, and I think it's cool. I know you guys aren't too crazy about him, but I think as a comic book reader, I think it's really cool seeing all of this crossover and everything, because it's just the books are just coming to life and doing this. And it wasn't quite Sinister 6, it was Sinister 5, because I've been wanting Sinister 6 for so long. And I loved the way that they did that, because they didn't have to explain any of the villains, really. They were just like, okay, if you've seen the prior movies, you know who they are. If you haven't, it's okay. This is what their powers are, and that's all you really need to know. And they all hate Spider-Man. And
Yeah.
so it was just it was just really, really well done. And I'm excited to see where they go next. I think the current rumors are Spider-Man Freshman Year is like the rumored title, and that it'll be a Disney Plus show.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, so those are the current rumors, and I think if they went that route, it
Kitty.
could. I know that she makes her episodic appearance, and I think that could work because they could just do kind of longer versions of him just trying to get by in college and being poor, and not have the big explosive, typical cinematic fights, and just have him be, like he says in the first one, just friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. And so I think that would be an interesting way to go, would be do a show. Yeah. And then have the show be like his college years and then maybe go back to the movies. But I'm not exactly sure what they're going to do, especially with the fact that this is about ready to top, I think, Avatar in the charts. I think it's getting close to almost making $9 billion.
Yeah.
So it might change plans completely now, or they might just be like, screw it, we're just making movies from now on instead of shows, because that's where more of the money is going to be at. But I really hope they keep going with this, because I know there was also the rumors of the contracts that Sony only gave Disney so many movies that they could use Spider-Man in before the movie rights reverted completely back to Sony. But with them making this much money, I feel like it would be best in their best interest to just be like, all right, it's a 50-50. I mean, at $9 billion between two companies that make infinite money anyway, just give us good movies, because clearly we want it. And so it was good, and it gave me hope, because I was kind of a little iffy on the current Marvel movies right now, because I feel like Endgame it's been a tough road after that. I mean, the Far From Home Spider-Man was really good, and then Shang-Chi was actually really good. I don't know if you guys have seen that one yet.
I saw that, bro. It was really good.
Bro, that one was really good.
Growing up, I liked like fighting movies, ninja movies and stuff like that. And so the fighting in that movie was great. I got hyped. I started doing some kicks myself. Like, almost like, watch out,
So Shang-Chi was really good. Black Widow was kind of middle of the road. That it was good. It was good to see her again, but I also kind of felt like it was 4 years too late, or technically 10 years too late, because I don't know why she never got her own movie up until she's dead. So your character's dead now, but here's your own movie, even though you're one of the original Avengers. And so that one was kind of
character too.
Yeah, and she's awesome. I mean, the movie was good. It just wasn't incredible. And then you had Eternals, which was
yeah, I heard it was slow. I heard the main thing is that it was okay, but it was slow.
It's very slow, because there's a lot of space jargon thrown out there, and it's characters that nobody knows who they are, and so they're trying to explain all this stuff, and then on top of that, they're gods. So for a lot of the movie, they're trying to explain to the audience, hey, this is why we couldn't get involved when Thanos came to town. So there was a lot of trying to explain their way out of that, and by the end of it, we just kind of were like, why give us this? Like, there in the movie verse, the comics are one thing, but in the movies, I don't know if gods really work with Marvel.
Right. Yeah, I think they should kind of keep it down to earth in that sense. You can do space stuff, but maybe like aliens or whatever, like Thanos. But yeah, I mean, anything past that is kind of like, we're getting into some shady territory here, where it's like you could there's a billion gods you could choose from, I guess. But anyways, I did want to say, I think getting back to Spider-Man, I think my favorite part was at Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire, near the end of the movie, Green Goblin over the phone is like, and he's all super creepy. It's like, can Spider-Man come out to play?
Oh, I love that scene.
And then at the very end of this movie, I thought it was awesome fucking reference. The first thing he says when he comes in, after everybody's done fighting, then he comes into the tower or whatever, and that's the first thing he says, and he yells it this time. Can Spider-Man come out to play? So I think that was one of my favorite scenes. Basically, everybody like Doc Ock grabbing the glider and everything. I think it was kind of silly how easy the arm was to chop off like that. But other than that, it was really, really good. I liked that scene. I like the references in general, but that one was probably one of the best ones to me. So, but yeah, very, very good movie. But yeah, I'm glad we were able to finally talk about that.
Right.
Fucking
I've been waiting.
Yeah.
I've been waiting to talk about it.
Yeah, but good movie. What would you give it for out of 10 rating?
Out of 10?
How many thumbs? We're gonna make
I
Photoshop so many thumbs.
I would give it probably. I'd probably give it 10 webs out of 10. I freaking loved it. I thought it was incredible. It was so cool to see those old characters come back that I remember seeing as a kid, because I saw all these in theaters, and it was amazing to see Toby back on the screen. It was cool seeing Doc Ock. It was Sandman. So I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, 10 webs out of 10.
I'll give it 10 webs out of 10. It was great.
Yeah, I convinced you.
It was great. No, seriously. I've never seen the Garfield's versions of the movie. So
Brian,
like when
webs.
someone give them a towel. But, yeah, I've never seen the Garfield version. So
They're good.
I saw Jamie Foxx on the screen. Like, what the fuck is he doing here?
Electro.
It's like, what? The film was great. It was great. Like, and I mean, not knowing what was going on, it kind of they gave you enough information where I could fill in.
We have a request for everyone to use their own scale instead of webs.
I will give it
10 gliders out of 10.
I was gonna say goblin bombs.
Oh yeah, pumpkin bombs. Yeah,
just one more.
There we go.
He just wants more work.
I'll give it I'll give it 9.85 tentacles out of 10.
Great, we're gonna have tentacles. Put the webs on top of the tentacles for good measure. and then put it all aimed at my face, just going.
Flying in on a glider.
Yeah, there were only a couple things. I will give it a 10 out of 10. There was just a couple things that were like just little nitpicks, basically. But generally speaking, the movie was incredible. It was probably my favorite Marvel, or let's say superhero movie since I'd say Infinity War. Infinity War really was amazing to me. Endgame was good, but I don't know. Infinity War had more of that emotional weight because they lost. So,
yes.
Yeah. So this one was definitely the best one since Infinity War for me, with the emotional weight and everything. So yeah, I would give it a 10 out of 10.
Okay.
10.
So you would say Infinity War is your favorite Marvel, and then this one?
I mean, technically speaking, if you want to go Marvel, I mean,
just MCU.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
MCU.
Because I know that it could be pretty complicated at that point.
Right.
But yeah, just the connected ones.
Just the connected ones, I would say. It's a toss up between, I think, this one and Infinity War. I think Infinity War really kicked ass. I think that was a really, really good movie. The way that they were able to get all those characters on screen was a work of art. I think that was like, wow, dude, that's something else. I would not be able to direct that movie at all. So they did a great job with Infinity War, and I love the emotional weight. And I love how intimidating Thanos was. Like,
yes,
when he like, in a way, you guys are gonna laugh when I say this. He almost kind of reminded me of how silent the Master Chief is. And
there it is.
You guys give me shit about Star Wars.
Yeah, my thing is Halo and his thing is Star Wars, dude. It's just like, just bring it
and
up.
Zeke has left the building.
That's he calls his member Master Chief. Brian calls his member his saber. You know.
Right.
The Force.
I'll give you that Force. Oh, you want that Force? Let's go.
More powerful than you could possibly imagine.
Oh my gosh. But I love the way Thanos was written. So that was my point in bringing that up. I think he was written in a way that wasn't it was like a strong silent type in that sense. But he had a mission, he had a goal that he thought was right. It wasn't that he just wanted to destroy the world and fuck everything up. It was like, I think this is the best way to do something, and everybody's like, what the fuck? No. But it was convincing that way. So
What about you, Anthony?
What's the question?
Favorite Marvel movie of the ones that are connected.
The question was, what do you call your
I
kids?
asked Nolan
I just gave my
this.
rating. What are you coming back with me?
the question was asked like 20 minutes ago.
The question is nickname for your dick.
Oh, I
Oh,
don't.
he's got a few. You can see.
I don't like that Brian's being the force.
Hold on,
makes
let me bring out my
uncomfortable
notebook.
because
Just all possible.
it's like the force is within all of us. I
May
bet
the
that's
force
just what
be
Brian
with
says
you.
to everyone.
I think
So I'm not.
Anthony calls his member the dark side.
Oh, I mean, I haven't trimmed a little bit. It's a little dark, so
Oh man,
it's been a minute.
it's as thick as the forest moon of
18-year-old
Endor.
Patron, 18-year-old Patron.
So I'm not.
There's no way.
Oh, shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
no.
Actually, that's the highlight from my trip.
Don't cut that out.
Sidetrack.
That was too good.
There was a bar like right next to where my friends live, where you go over the train tracks, and it's called the Rusty Nail, and it just looks. Apparently, we looked it up like later on in the trip. Apparently, they have a pool table, so we're gonna have to check it out and see. It's a definite dive bar, though. But yeah, the Rusty Nail is a good nickname too.
Yeah, I guess it was.
So to answer your question, I've not seen all of the MCU movies, but I really enjoyed. I think it was the first one, the first Avengers, where especially when they're the fight scene at the airport. That's one I'm thinking of.
Civil War?
Is that Civil War?
Civil War, yeah.
Civil War, yeah.
Where they split, and that's where they Spider-Man got introduced to the other guys.
Yeah.
So that was a great one.
Yes,
I love that
was a
scene.
really good one.
So
Yeah, that was.
sorry, I don't have much more on that. But
I like.
That's all right.
memory's bad.
I was just
The memory's
curious.
bad.
Since we're on topic.
That movie I really liked. Captain America and Iron Man fighting. The fight
Also,
scene was probably my favorite part.
Why is Captain America such a funny daddy?
Because he's
Such a what?
believes in his morals
Yeah, he's a 1940s white guy. What do you mean?
and justice.
Hi.
He's always raining on everyone's parade, dude.
Yeah, 1940s white guy.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, more or less. Yeah, there you go. That's why.
All right.
So, what time are we at? What do we got?
I think we're probably gonna want to tie this off in the bow.
110. All right. So,
All right.
I think you
All
mean
right.
70, right? Continue.
Yeah,
oh,
saying an hour 10. Yeah, I think we once again have gone over an hour, of course.
of course.
That's
of course.
all right.
But
As
you
is
know what? This is
tradition.
the shortest one yet. If we
It
stop
is.
We're getting better. It's
Yeah.
Stop it
progress.
now.
Normally we're at like a Nolan. Right now we're at a me. Get it?
Because he's so tall and
I'm
he's short.
tall.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a joke.
It's okay. We're gonna go longer next week because get ready, a little sneak peek for everybody. I got the new Pokemon game.
Oh yeah, so
So I'm just gonna
next-
leave it at that.
the next episode of the Bants,
Okay.
Pokemon, a Seinfeld meme, and Dangling the Turtle.
When does the Boba Fett next episode come out? You said it was,
Wednesday, every Wednesday. The last one.
Okay, so yeah, I mean you're gonna be able to.
Solo
What
cast.
fucking year is it?
What?
Are you gonna be able to watch that before we record again? No, you're not. Okay. Well, you know.
No, it would probably be the following episode unless scheduling.
You guys cut too much. Jeez, man. This is
Oh,
supposed to
man.
be a genuine podcast.
Just chop it up.
Fun as always, boys.
We're a circumcised podcast, unfortunately.
Once again, happy birthday, Tim. Have fun on Friday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Tim.
Happy birthday, dude. Happy 31st, you said?
30, the big 3-1.
The big
He's definitely
3-1.
not over the hill.
All right.
Nope, not
Definitely not.
I
Not
still got
yet.
another 39 years.
Nice.
Nice.
All right, boys.
Thanks for tuning in. As always, we'll be
Yes.
back next week where we enter the double digits.
Aw, yeah.